Great morning, great evening, great afternoon. My name is Demetrius Pearson, and I'm joined by my co-host, Devontae Ward, and this is The Counterattack. Like, subscribe, turn on that notification bell so you can know when to go on the counterattack.
I got other stuff that I'm trying to do right now. Like, I'm trying to maintain this cum laude. I'm trying to finish these tough courses because my last semester in college wasn't an easy semester, so I did fall off the running. So this day when he came in and ran the 10 miles, and like we did have some periods where we were like, competing on the run tip some days prior. I'm like, bro, he just gonna come out the blue like this with the 10 miler and not give me a chance to prepare myself for that day, because for that Friday, I think I had planned, I had to study. I had some stuff to do Sunday evening. And I said, I don't have time to run. But when he walked in with the 10 miler, bro, I feel like he called me a bleep, for lack of a better word.
Bro, you can use, we have a word. We have a replacement word, enigma.
Oh,
yeah,
man,
we got a replacement inside joke.
I feel like bro was disrespecting me, and I'm like, man, I got kids out here. I can't be getting disrespected like that.
In a nutshell, I'm gonna see if I'm on the same page. Priorities, priorities, and healthy and boundaries in certain situations doesn't mean a lack of love. It legit means the preservation with the chance to grow that love in mutually. Because if you don't build yourself up, who else will? Nobody else is in you, and I can't build you or D up. Like, I can't do it for you. I can only build myself up. So that's why after, hearing a lot of talk and a lot of stuff, I had to go do that 10 miles on you that one morning.
Yeah, man.
When, you was at school, doing your thing. Look, I'm a victim here, fellas.
Nah.
I'm a victim here. Let me tell y'all, let me talk to the people real quick. I'm a victim here, right? So, look. I'm going out for a run one morning. It's a Friday. I don't have any classes, physical classes this day.
Find the receipts.
Ain't no receipts. The receipts gonna tell that I needed to get paid. But so I'm at Railroad Park in Birmingham. I'm getting ready to run, and we're just texting back and forth. And I know exactly what it was from. It was because I burnt more calories than Demetrius and Obi did the previous day. Now, mind you, this is when we were going beast mode, right? And I gotta give it to these guys. They're in great shape, and that doesn't mean that I'm in bad shape. They've been working at a higher level for a longer time than I have. So they have the results. So I'm cool with paying catch up because, and not even catch up. I'm cool with running my race because I got dogs I get to run behind to catch up to. I get to see the form and stuff like that. So and before I get with this story, I always tell Obi, bruh, anytime I hit I'm grateful for the fact that I had another black man to demonstrate that this is a possibility. Running that sub 8 mile on a 10K, I've never run a sub 8 mile.
That's major.
And it helped out. Now, back to being on your head. So
Hey, no, before you keep going, I just gotta say, I found the date that this happened. This happened on Friday, September 22nd.
Yeah.
And the first message that I was able to pull up was, I sent this to my wife. I said, DJ ran 10 miles. I'm about to go run 15. I didn't get to 15, but I was piped up. But continue, man.
Hey, bro, see if you can find the text messages that led up to that too. That'll be fire.
Okay,
but
okay.
from my perspective, just shotgunning it off of memory, right? So I had told him I'm not gonna. I got one. I finally got one up on y'all. And Obi was like, man, you ain't even say nothing. I'm like, we ain't say nothing. I said, bruh. In back of my head, I'm like, bruh, y'all always outrun me. Y'all always burning more calories than me. I said, I ain't need no glow, but I'm like, bruh, we always been competing in my head, and not competing I'm trying to beat you, but I'm trying to, the more I grow, the more, and we competing, the more you growing. So it's that. So it's like that mutual thing. And luckily he didn't drop a diss song on me. But
Shout out to Dre.
It's just like basketball. Look, the bank shot don't count unless you call bank while it's in the house.
You feel me?
Look, and you know what? And I hear all of that. The fact was, when the day closed out, I had the most calories. So I stood on that business, right? So we can say everything around the result. Michigan's still the national champion this year. Nick Saban still retired. Like these are we could talk about how we feel about it. The result is not what I'm making the most emphasis on, but for story purposes, I damn sure am. So, I run this 10 miles, and as I'm running, I send a voicemail to them because Obi is just talking so much, like just he on my tail. He on my tail, and I admit I probably said some stuff that was a little aggressive in there, like have a wonderful day, Obi. Like I probably told him something like that, and then I ain't tell him how far I was gonna run. I just let the numbers drop, and when that watch read 10, and I put up to the office,
I was pissed.
So go ahead, tell him when I walked into tell him about when you seen the numbers come through a little bit more and your immediate actions right after that, because I had no idea you was about to drop everything. And that's when I knew, like, this man different.
No, man, it's funny because, like, man, shout out to DJ, man. I'm so grateful for this guy because he keeps me in a mindset of, bro, if you don't keep growing or if you don't stay consistent, I will catch you. Like, I think about that often with him. And you see the improvement over the years. Like, you said, you had a sub what on the last run?
Sub 8.
And you talking about only been running for maybe almost 2 years, and I think you started
12 months.
Yeah, and I think you started with like 11-minute, 10-minute paces. So, bro,
13.
So, bro, catching me. So I'm like, man, I got other stuff that I'm trying to do right now. Like I'm trying to maintain this cum laude. I'm trying to finish these tough courses because my last semester in college wasn't an easy semester. So I did fall off the running. So this day when he came in and ran the 10 miles, and like we did have some periods where we were like, competing on the run tip. Some days prior, I'm like, bro, he just gonna come out the blue like this with the 10 miler and not give me a chance to prepare myself for that day. Cause for that Friday, I think I had planned I had to study. I had some stuff to do Sunday evening, and I said, I don't have time to run. But when he walked in with the 10 miler, bro, I felt like he called me a bleep, for lack of better words. I felt
bro, you can use. We have a word. We have a replacement word. Enigma.
Oh,
yeah,
man,
we got a
so
replacement
funny.
inside joke.
I feel like bro was disrespecting me, and I'm like, man, I got kids out here. I can't be getting disrespected like that. My son ain't gonna look at me the same. So, man, I dropped everything. I stopped studying. Me and him was real deal. So we always talk about how these competitions are like, they're fake. We make them up in our head. But nah, we was beefing for a good 2 minutes. Like, I real deal didn't mess with him. But anyway, man, what pissed me off the most was the fact that I know me. I knew I was going to respond, and I knew that the time that I was responding wasn't a great time to do it. Bro, it was like 80-some degrees that day. I think it was like 12 o'clock in the afternoon, and I went out and ran 13 miles.
Half marathon.
But, hey, it was a slow pace, 10 minutes. I mean, slow pace by my standard, 10 minutes. But, hey, it had to get done because the man tried me, bro. Like, I can't just be sitting out here just letting folks go at my jaw and I don't respond. So that's kind of how that went.
Okay. All right. So I'm not gonna try to take this one too much further. I know we got you gotta go get the groceries and the family man, cause and that's no joke. This is priorities, right? And I try to tell all my friends, like, I have a few people that they'll apologize, like sometimes if they like. Or, I know I got to switch over to my wife. Hold on, my bad. I'm like, bro, when you click back, I want you to change the language, the environment. Like, don't say my bad. Matter of fact, I'm so good of a friend, bro. Like, I'm going to tell you, stop talking to me, talk to your wife if you need to. And I never have to do that with Obi. Like, I'm a challenging type of person. Like, it's called the counterattack. I like to look for what's serving, better. I always like question Obi up to the point, like especially on fitness, and he'll tell you like, man, look, I don't want to cut my running back. This is my priority right now, and he'll have an articulated plan behind it. And as soon as he say, I'm like, bet, I'm done, because you done put it in the words. Even if you either had it or you didn't, or you said it again, and now it's reinforcing it already. Cool, I get a chance to hey, see where you at, because if I'm your friend, I'm gonna challenge you a little bit on that at least, and because I want you to do better for yourself and your family. Like, you got people depending on yourself and yourself. But man, one thing you've always done is stand on that business, and I never questioned that again after you just went on ahead and tried to blow my little 10 miles out. And my personal record, like on the same day, I was like, dang. But I loved it at the same time because I was like, I got a dog that I can run with, regardless of who's leading. Like dog, like if you got that pack, like it's just different. It's just gonna hit different.
Yeah, because regardless of what we do, how we perceive it, the end goal was achieved. We both got better, and that's always the goal when we surround each other.
Yes, and when we was talking about the prefrontal cortex, and when you was talking about that with Demetrius, did you have anything else that you want to elaborate on it about?
You know what? I thought I had something, but in this moment, let me see. It had to be related to the Atomic Habits. Yeah, I can't recall, man. Unless you can refresh my memory on that.
So when you was talking about the prefrontal cortex developing at 25,
Yeah,
and like that helps you with your, like your decision making, inhibition.
Mm-hmm.
Your decision making, your ability to either react, like to control your impulses, for the or know when to use your impulses, and neuroplasticity, and is when you develop like like more connections within your brain.
Okay, yeah.
And I said earlier in the earlier podcast, neurogenesis, I believe, is the development of new neurons within your brain. So as you work out, as you run and do stuff, you develop these new neural connections. So
you can tell,
and your working memory increases, your ability to remember things increases. So I remember we was off camera and you was talking about how that you caught some of those benefits. Could you briefly talk about that like in real time?
Yeah, for sure. So like I mentioned earlier, while being in my very highly studious phase, I did kind of get very inconsistent at some periods with my running. And I noticed that, sometimes it was hard to remember some things. I might have to read some things 2 and 3 times to really get a grasp on it. And the difference that I've pretty much realized now since graduating and getting back to consistently running, like when I tell you I've been doing it consistently for the past 30 plus days, I can already see those benefits. I can already see my working memory improving. I can already see my short-term memory improvement. My wife, we talk a lot, and there's this stigma or this joke about men in the household always forget things that their wife says. That's true for the most part, but it has not been true for these past 30 days. Everything my wife has been telling me, I've been remembering. I don't have to ask her twice, or I don't have to call her back and say, yo, what did you tell me to get from the store? I got it. So it's been feeling good to get that benefit back under my belt.
So an intentional sacrifice is benefiting you with one of your most precious priorities.
Yeah, for sure.
Your household and your family.
Mm-hmm.
You taking care of your life by taking control of what you do and your action.
Got to, man. And then, we're not here to get it misconstrued. Like, man, none of us are perfect. I mess up every day. I'm probably gonna make a mistake when I leave here. Like you mentioned earlier, when you kind of challenged me on the running, like, that's one of my plans and you don't see me doing it, that lets you know that I'm prioritizing something else. But that doesn't change the fact that the run or whatever it is that I let fall off is still something that I had to find a way to pick back up. So one of the things that, because I don't think we really talked about struggles too much, like real life struggles. One of the things that I still deal with today is trying to figure out how to juggle so many things at one time, because to keep all those balls rolling at a good pace, it's tough. And, that's something that we constantly try to figure out. And that's why we read these books. So, yeah.
The growth, the story that you tell yourself, control your narrative. I'm gonna wrap it up with this. Effort times efficiency plus time equals your results. Your effort that you put in, the efficiency, how efficient that actually is, the how, plus an amount of time will equal your results. 2 of those are multipliers. One of them is an addition thing. You can't control time. So time is always the addition. But you can get to the result. You can reach that threshold quicker when you put in more efficient work. And the one thing I want to say to you, D, and to you, OB, I've seen nothing but you all grow in your effort and efficiency, your stamina increase, and I'm blessed to be a friend of you all's.
Likewise, brother.
So,
100%.
Obi, you got any last words for the people before we close out?
No, man.
What's your
just-
quote? You normally tell me something when we leaving out, when I was leaving the vet center.
I got you. Expect great things to happen today, man. Always.
And on that note, we're out.
February is also American Heart Month. So the American Heart Association, they try to put an emphasis and bring attention to the fact that heart disease is the #1 killer in America right now. And, being that it's Black History Month and being that, we drive in the lane of wellness, I want to talk about heart disease in terms of Black people, because ultimately I do want better for our people. And we're at like a higher disposition for these diseases. Our health disparity numbers are just astronomical compared to, our white counterparts or like other ethnicities. So I think we need to do a better job at taking care of ourselves, because there are a few factors that we may or may not be able to help because you already come here with 2 strikes on your back.